Okay, so today's video, I wanted to do the highest dex Scythe in Brawlhalla. Initially, I thought it would be Giro, but Giro is actually lower dex than Volkov, so who would have thought? And who would ever think of using this stance? I think this stance is completely pointless, but maybe we'll find out something. I seriously doubt that, though. Alright, to start, we got Nova. Now, I think Volkov is a super, fun legend. I really enjoyed the Sigs. They feel super smooth, and I think that's how they should. He is a super high dex legend, low force. His Sigs don't have a ton of force. I mean, Sig on Scythe has a crazy angle, which, it is what it is. Maybe that one could be lower, but that side Sig, I think that side Sig super sick. It's quick. You can just kind of throw it out. It goes for all of them, right? And that's, I think, just good Sig design for the most part. Now, the issue with that, right? It's sure, the Sigs reflect the higher dex, but a big problem that exists with a character like Volkov is that, okay, well, you have all this dex, and sure, it makes sense with the design. You can justify why the Sigs are as fast as they are, but then you have a character like Fate, who is 4 dex and more dex, or 4 dex, both 4 dex. And Fate is literally the best orb character in the game, with some of the hardest to punish Sigs and lowest risk Sigs in the game. And it just makes you wonder, well, okay, I mean, they obviously ignored this the dex stance for her, but for this character, they decided that it was important, I guess, that they made sure that the stats reflected the actual signature kit of the character. It's just weird to me. Maybe I'm a little off on that, but that's just my thoughts of it. That's how I feel they look at it. And something even crazier about using the dex stance, or just Volkov in general, right? Volkov has base higher dex than Giro, but Giro is the only Scythe character that can get a true combo even, and that is defense dependent. It doesn't even matter if they're a lower defense, because they'll be sent too far away after you hit your Ser. Nair is what I'm talking about. Nair you can sometimes get true if the character is too high of defense, or too low of defense, my bad, then that combo is just not going to be true. It just seems Dex is a weird conditional they can use to if they wanted to. I'm not saying they're doing this, but if they wanted to, they could use it to justify certain characters, why they are the way they are. Because I already mentioned with Fate, Petra too is another good one. It's okay, well, those are newer characters too, and the Sigs are just as fast as Volkov's. And even better, but why why wasn't that the recovery frames or something taken into consideration? It's just all very strange. Yeah, but enough on that. I think it's interesting that I see people still even bother with dex stance. I feel no one, or majority I should say, knows what dex is really doing for them. Even I don't feel I totally get the grasp of dex. I just know it gives me some true combos that are locked behind specific dexes, which kind of feels like a cheap way to make it work. Oh, I barely hit that. So yeah, aside from those, and even it's only on certain weapons. I think Spear is a weapon that gains a lot from it, as well as Bow. Those two in particular gain a lot from having dex. That was a really weird D-Light pull. And there's others Bow. Even Bow used to have on, I think you had to have 6 or 5 or higher dex to do, I think it was 6, maybe I'm wrong, D-Light Ser. And now they made it just true on everything. So they're they've done that with other combos, and I feel it's just a matter of time before they mess with it more to make it not matter even less, because they're kind of too far in the game's development to really fix it, I guess, or like make changes to it, there's easily over like 40 legends. I don't know how many unique legends they have in this game now, but it's definitely a lot. So that would, you know, if they make one change to like how Dex works, you could see like you could see it getting like completely messed up even further. And obviously, you know, they could go back to how it works, but I don't think it's not viable for a company to like try and fix a stance and then go back, and, you know, all the money and time that they ended up having to output because of it kind of goes to waste. And, you know, the old system actually ended up being better than whatever they had before. I wanted to end light, or my bad, Nair. Oh, caught him. Wait, I killed myself. Oops. All right, we got a Giro, another high dex warrior. All right, well, let me get a weapon. All right, there. Finally, they're back. Nope, no breaks now. We go. All right. Yeah, it's another sad thing about Volkov and the difference maker in the combo is that Giro has higher speed for the Scythe combo, that is. Giro has like a couple more speed than Volkov. That is probably my least favorite thing about Volkov, is the fact that he can feel just like his sigs feel great to use, right? Weapon combination I think is really good. However, the fact that he has such a low speed, and in order to get high speed you sacrifice strength, and you're running 3 strength, then it just feels like it feels pretty bad. I can't lie about that. I don't really like it. That's definitely my biggest downside. Now, obviously with SIGs, they do get affected by strength. However, I would say that a big thing is that you can tell, like, there's so many times where I hit like what I know if I had that one more strength would be like the ending kill. It doesn't actually end up mattering because I'm on 3 strength, and it really sucks. Like, strength I think can be undervalued at some points, and when you play the game for a long time you kind of learn when like certain things on a weapon you play should be killing, or you not should be, but you know, like, oh wow, if I really just had like one more strength, like this D-Light recovery on guns would have actually just like won me the game or something like that. I don't think strength is like the most important stance by any means, but obviously it is an important one, and it's definitely a worthwhile sacrifice because speed is ultimately just that much more important. And again, I killed myself. Jeez, these are my first games on for today, so I'm glad they haven't been too bad. I've been focusing more on just making sure what I say makes like some sort of sense, so hopefully I've done a decent job with that. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna be able to get back. Okay. Wilfo? Let's see. Nyx is another character. I think the highest defense Scythe, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, I'll do a video on that at some point. I like Nyx a lot. However, I don't know. Nyx is a character I thought about playing before, and I have. I'm just kind of lukewarm to Nyx. Like, Nyx I think is a cool legend, but I mean I know what characters I like. I like Artemis, I like my Shang, I like Volkov, Val 2, Lucian. I mean, if I'm gonna play blasters, you know, you guys know me, Lucian has always been my go-to. It's actually crazy to think I played Cassidy before Lucian. Not before Lucian, my bad. I played Cassidy before I played like Nyx, I guess. That's not really true, because in ones I did play Nyx, and I've never played Cassidy ones. But anyways, back to Volkov. Yeah, I can say with confidence I've mainly been using Scythe, just because that's going to be the main focus of the video, and I like Scythe a lot more, and it is a lot more entertaining to watch, I think, than me just swing around axe. So that's why I've stuck to it. Right there's a good example of like what I was talking about earlier, or initially at the video, with the signature kit just being super nice for having the ability to, like, you can kind of throw stuff out, like even on hit, if it wouldn't have like killed, which I think there it would have, just because they would have had no dodge. It's just super nice to have something that doesn't feel like glue. That's a big reason why I've kind of stopped playing Onyx, is because that character Sigs now feel a lot like stickier, like when you miss them especially. You can't just throw them out like you could before. Now I will say 100% that was broken, and it was the right change to do, because she is a 4-dex character, so it makes a lot more sense. But at the same time, it's like, well, now that like flow you can get sometimes feels gone, so you definitely have to use like the Sigs a lot more carefully, which again, I think that's how it should be. All right, 1 axe side air. If that was like a different legend, that axe air would have sent them way further. It wouldn't have killed, but it's okay. Let's see. Now, I've mainly focused on Scythe, but with axe, I genuinely don't think you gain a single benefit of having high dex. Like, I literally think 0, but I might be wrong. Okay, so that was my video on the highest dexterity Scythe in Brawl. Volkov, super sick character. It's just a shame that this stance doesn't do more, or doesn't unlock some like OP levels of like Vrax that they had with Lance before. That would have been insane to see what they could have done, but it is what it is. Dex is a very useless stat. I don't think you should ever use this stance, but I'll talk about stances in another video with this guy when I do them. So see you guys.